I would like to thank my colleague, Mr. Bourita, for his very kind words for me and for Greece. I'm very pleased to be here in Morocco, a country with which we enjoy historical ties. And today we had the great opportunity to explore ways of bolstering our bilateral, political, and economic relations, including in areas such as trade, tourism, agriculture, maritime transportation, discussion between enterprises of both countries, cooperation in the Balkans and in Africa. We also exchanged views on our cooperation on a number of regional and international issues pertaining to the Mediterranean and to North Africa, as well as to Morocco's relations with the European Union. We would like Morocco to use our good services in their relations with the European Union, and we'll be very happy to help Morocco get even closer to the European family. I'm very pleased that Greece and Morocco share a common perspective on those issues, but also, and importantly, to note both our countries' commitment to always remain within the context of the international law on our foreign relations. We have particularly focused, as it is obvious, on Libya. In that regard, we reiterate our support to the efforts of the United Nations Secretary General Special Representative, Mr. Salamé, whom I have met to Brussels just a few days ago, towards reaching a political solution. We also hope that the upcoming Berlin conference will achieve tangible progress in bringing this long-standing conflict to an end. May I be allowed also to say that we in Greece were greatly surprised that Morocco was not invited in this meeting in Berlin on Sunday. We cannot forget that Morocco was the cardinal factor of the Sirat Agreement, which after 8 months of hard work, which you elaborated upon, Mr. Minister, was achieved. And all this experience now will not be present in Berlin. Anyway, in Libya, we have witnessing a sharp rise in instability and an unprecedented escalation of provocations by Turkey, which have already left their illegal footprint, similar to what has happened in Iraq, in Syria, in Cyprus. I think this is a serious source of concern to all the countries in the region. I have to clearly say that the agreements signed by Turkey and Mr. Sarraj are entirely out of scope of international law. They're null and void and produce no legal effects whatsoever. Needless to say, they are beyond the Sarraj agreement, which they clearly violate. They constitute an attempt to usurp the sovereign rights of third countries in the Mediterranean, while seriously undermining stability in Libya and in the wider region. They jeopardize the neighboring countries' security. As said before, they violate the Sirat Agreement, Libya's national legal foundation, as well as international law and norms. What is even more than that? Turkey's decision to deploy troops on Libyan soil is a violation of the sovereignty of a member of the United Nations and of the relevant United Nations Security Council resolutions. Greece welcomes the major reforms carried out by His Majesty King Mohammed VI in a dynamic of openness, progress, and modernity, through the conception of an adapted and renovated development model and the promotion of an advanced regionalization. Greece welcomes Morocco's role under the leadership of His Majesty the King on the regional and international levels as a provider of stability and peace and a vector of growth and development in the region and in all of Africa. we support the United Nations efforts to reach a fair, realistic, lasting, and mutually acceptable solution to the issue of Western Sahara in accordance with the relevant United Nations resolutions. We also encourage all parties to continue their engagement in a spirit of realism and compromise. To this end, Greece considers the Moroccan initiative submitted to the United Nations as a serious and credible approach for reaching a solution to the problem. Regarding the European Union, Greece welcomes the recent renewal of the Agricultural Fisheries Agreement between Morocco and the European Union. My colleague, His Excellency, made a clear remark on this. We also underline our support to the declaration of the Association Council of June 2019. Closer ties between the European Union and Morocco have been proven mutually beneficial. We hope they will continue to be further enhanced in the future, and Greece will do its part in this process. My dear colleague, thank you very much for hosting us here today, and count me allowed to say that I'm hoping to see you soon in Athens. Thank you very much. Well, thank you for your question. I have touched upon this question on my initial remark. First of all, we support every effort to bring this conflict into a conclusion and really establish peace and stability in Libya and in the region. The agreement in Moscow failed to do that, and we hope that Berlin could achieve something more. Although I have to say, as I said before, that we cannot understand why Greece is not a part of this process, but even more, we cannot understand why Morocco, who was not called in Berlin, after all the hard work that Morocco has done, and was a work very successful, if I say so, because the only tangible result on all these efforts in Libya is the Sirat Agreement. Unfortunately, neither us nor Morocco are present in Berlin. We hope for the best. We'll see what happens there, and we will discuss it afterwards. On the issue of the two memoranda signed between the government in Tripoli and Turkey, our clear position, which is also the position of the European Council and of the State Department, is that those agreements are null and void. They were signed in clear breach of the Sirat Agreement. They don't serve the peace and stability in the region. They don't even serve the interests of the Libyan people. I'm not sure even if they serve Turkey's true interests, but I'm not the one that would be the judge of that.